Well, anyone that has been paying attention is not surprised. Anyone that's been watching this team on a nightly basis, especially for the past like 5, 7 games now, isn't surprised by this. I don't know what there is left to say. I really don't. I was so confident that this was going to happen, and usually this goes against my own rules, where I never bet for or against my team. But tonight, I sprinkled some money on the Jets and Kyle Connor to score together. I sprinkled that into a parlay. Free cash right there. Free money. Because it was a no-brainer when you watch the way this team has played in the defensive zone lately, and when you have watched this team play like dog shit lately, it's not a surprise. It is not a surprise one bit. I'm just so fed up because the thing is, on the surface, you look at this game, and I tweeted this out after the second period. I regret putting that tweet out with the way that third period went down. On the surface, though, after 2 periods at least, I felt they weren't even playing that terror. Like, I didn't think they were dog shit after the first 2 periods. The first period was terrible, but second period was all right. And I was like, they're not playing entirely dog shit. But the problem is, you have the same guys that have been thriving, masking the issues for the guys that are performing like shit. Braden Schneider, Zach Jones, the third line yet again, the only ones to show up. The only ones. Because everybody else tonight, once again, a non-factor. Jacob Trouba and Keandre Miller were on the ice for at least 50 goals tonight. MIKA ZIBANEJAD contributing pretty much to every single goal against. This team has major problems. And Peter LAVIOLETTE deserves a lot of criticism. And somebody from the media needs to grow a pair of balls right now. Because there is no reason, after the third mistake especially, that MIKA ZIBANEJAD should have saw the ice the rest of the game. No reason. And if you wanted, because it looked so bad for him and it hurts his feelings so much, if you really wanted to mask it, just say it had to do with the injury earlier on and it was precautionary. Just say it was that. Because he ended up leaving this game, departing this game with, I don't know if he had to take a shit, vomit, whatever it might have been. But he might as well have stayed on the ice because he was doing it on the ice either way for most of the game. And LAVIOLETTE deserves so much criticism for this game. Because as poorly as they played at points, this was a winnable game. This was a winnable game because Lafreniere on the power play scores. He gets out there with the top unit and scores. And then MIKA ZIBANEJAD's out there yet again on the top unit next power play. It's so infuriating. And you had LAVIOLETTE saying before the game as well, well, we're trying to give more time to the Trouba Miller pairing. More time? More time. They've been a pair for multiple years now. How much more time do they need? How much more time do we need until we realize this doesn't work? It's the same problems every night. And this time it was so much more exemplified because you played a good team that capitalized on the opportunities they got. And how many times did everybody say it in the chat? Me, or at least 90% of the chat say it, and myself. Once they play a team like Winnipeg that's able to bury those opportunities because they have our Kyle Connor, they have a Mark Scheifele, you're not going to win. You're not going to win against a team like that. You're not going to. It's a shame. It's a shame. Because this started in the first minute, too. Once that first goal happened, you knew how this night was going to go. Because for some reason, Ryan Lindgren opts to go for a line change. Artemi Panarin, for some reason, puts it back into the D zone with one defenseman there. I don't know if he didn't know Lindgren was going for a change or what. Keandre Miller gets on and falls asleep on the other end of the ice. And then MIKA ZIBANEJAD has a lane, and then he just fires it right into right into the stick. I forgot who it was on the Jets. Fires it right into the stick of whoever it was, and then they get it to Mark Scheifele. Easy goal. Adam Fox maybe should have been there to cover, but that summed up what you were going to see throughout the entire night, which was, again, terrible defense. The lapses continue to happen. But then they ended up scoring. But my problem, again, is it's the same guys that are actually contributing that are producing. It's a problem and a good thing because you want to see these guys producing, but it's a problem because it's only these guys. And you're not going to win when it's only these guys. Because on that first goal, you had Schneider, who made a beautiful play, was making some good plays in the D zone. They carry it up the ice, ends up putting it on goal, and then Cooley in front buries it because they were actually chasing rebounds. Can you believe that? Can you believe the idea of chasing rebounds? I can't. The second goal, Miller had a fail clear. And then Velarde just absolutely breaks Keandre Miller's ankles, and Fox couldn't clear it either. That was on the penalty kill. The second goal, you had the Lafreniere power play goal, which, again, no reason he shouldn't be on the first power play unit at this point. And then the third goal, another turnover by MIKA ZIBANEJAD. A rush the other way. Trouba, for some reason, jumping up in the play for no reason. Kyle Connor rips it. Maybe Igor should have that one. Don't care. Then Winnipeg in the third period, open the floodgates. Fire on all cylinders. They come out on a mission. MIKA, again, in the neutral zone. Turnover. And they just cycle. You have Miller and Trouba stick checking and just puck watching the entire time. And Mark Scheifele gets right in front of the net to score again. And then they answer because, once again, that third line is the only ones producing. Pretty much a copy and paste of the first goal. You have Schneider put it on, and then Kakko buried it. And then once Winnipeg got the fifth goal, close it. Just close it. Because there was that rush against Trouba, nowhere to be found. Carrick going to the same side for whatever reason as Keandre Miller. Miller going to block the pass, and nobody's covering the right side, and the puck ended up back to the Mesikov. Miller still not on his feet. Goal. And then once the power play came, you thought maybe. No. This power play looked like dog shit, and MIKA can't even hit his signature shot anymore. This team has major deficiencies and major flaws, and I am at a point where I don't know what to say and tell you to make you feel better about this. Because they look like complete and utter ass. I'm just fed up. I'm just fed up because every single night, after every single game, before every game, after every practice, we hear, oh, we'll be better defensively. Right. I mean, that first period and the third period, they just didn't stop allowing high danger chances, didn't stop allowing them to get to the middle of the ice. And again, the difference is Winnipeg capitalizes on their turnovers. The Rangers, when they get rush opportunities, no, they're not capitalizing. They're not. And this isn't just a Connor Hellebuyck is great thing. This is, the Rangers are notorious for sucking on rush opportunities. I mean, can't make tape-to-tape passes. Impossible. The neutral zone play, it's way too wide open every single night. The D zone play, everybody's running around like they're chickens with their heads cut off. It's just the same guys that continue to thrive, the same guys that continue to struggle. And I am very concerned about Trocheck lately. I mean, he's done nothing really to start the season. He's done nothing. I just have no energy for this shit. I really don't. It's nights like this where I wish I didn't have this channel because I could have watched the Knicks instead. Because after the first minute, this game would have been off. And I would have just went to watch the Knicks instead. But instead, here I am, the sucker that watches this crap on a nightly basis. Here I am, every time. Very curious what's being said in the post game right now. LAVIOLETTE, let's see. About MIKA. Oh, his health. Yeah, he came back, played. I think he took a minute. I think was gone off the bench just for a minute and maybe missed one. I don't care about that. I don't care. He said, I can't speak for MIKA and where he's at. You'd have to ask him. I know that we count on MIKA. He's an important piece for us. To me, that just tells me that this is coming from upstairs. This has to scream that this is coming from upstairs. There's no way. Like, I just refuse to believe. I refuse to believe that Peter LAVIOLETTE is watching MIKA ZIBANEJAD play the way he is and not seeing this. I can't comprehend that that's a possibility. Maybe it is and maybe I'm off base, but there's just no way. There's no way at all. All I know is why does this leadership group get to bitch around management and coaching regardless? Because MIKA whines to the media about his ice time and, oh yeah, let's just keep throwing him out on the ice. I mean, the fact that he went out there after that, what was it, the first goal or one of the goals, the second goal it might have been, one of the first two goals, he goes out there after he made the mistake. I'm just so fed up. I really am. I'm gonna get to the chat. Leave a like, subscribe. I'm just exhausted from this. I really am. And I see everyone just ripping on Miller in the chat. I don't know. Will only be bad teams. What does that make us? A fraudulent team. Hashtag Biz was right. I mean, this team just gives the puck away like it's candy on Halloween. I don't know what it will take for MIKA to get benched. After tonight, I could say that he could get away with murder at this rate and still be on the ice the next day. That's where I'm at, honestly, because there's just no way after tonight. If tonight didn't warrant a benching, I don't know what will. He genuinely could get away with murder at this point. By the way, I do have to say, I forgot about to even bring this up. That power play in the third period, love whoever the fans were freaking booing. There was one guy really committed to it. Love it. And I'm tired of hearing, oh, imagine booing your own team. If booing is where we draw the line, give me a break. Give me a break. You're spending hundreds of dollars to be in the building and they give you this type of performance on a nightly basis, which, first of all, your first mistake was spending $100 to go. I'm going to be honest here. And no offense if anyone that's watching went to the game, but... And I get it, if you have a family and everything, you want to take the kids to a game and everything. I get all that. I get it to some degree. But if you're going to the game, if you're going to a game and spending your money expecting like a good performance, I don't know what you're thinking. I don't know what you're doing with your money. But if you're going just to, have a night out, all the other stuff, you know what you're getting into at least. But still, you're spending hundreds of dollars to go. Boo them. Created decent amount of chances for themselves, didn't get completely outplayed, outshot. I thought they didn't generate enough, though, at points. Like, there were times they were cycling in the offensive zone, and they just did nothing with it. Sure, they generated more than they've been, but if they only count passes, that makes MIKA to the other team. He might be leading the league, yeah. I'm with you on this. I am honestly at the point where I'm done with Keandre Miller. Really at the point where I'm just over it. We might have to make a petition for you to work for the front office. You know this team better than Drury. A lot of people know this team better than Drury. I don't want to sound like arrogant, anything like that. A lot of people, though. I mean, how many players have we talked about on the channel and be like, hey, they would be good for the Rangers. They'd be a good fit for the Rangers. How many times have we talked about different players that would fit for the team? They don't get them, and then they go off and have success elsewhere. I mean, we talk about it nonstop. But whatever. You all have to ask yourselves, why is Laviolette coach almost every team in the Metro and a couple of others? I mean, has the longevity, to be fair with that one. He's been coaching for a very, very long time. I mean, it's not like he's a guy that's been in the league for as long as like David Quinn, where he's going from team to team every year. I can't get behind that part, but and I wanted Laviolette. A lot of people in the chat I know want Laviolette, but he is losing me. Chasing rebounds, that's allowed only if you're on the third line, is what I heard. Only if you're Will Cooley, Phil Peedle, is what I heard. And occasionally Capo Caco. Very occasionally. Which... yeah, Chris Drury has the fan goggles on. Yeah, it's always the same lip service, I know. The best part was Winnipeg had an off night tonight, and they had sloppy passes in their D zone, and they couldn't take advantage of it. Tells you a lot about this team. Yeah, pretty much. That's another point that I didn't even mention, is that Winnipeg looks sloppy in comparison to how they usually do, and you still couldn't beat them. OG and Cat had awesome nights. I wish I got to watch it. Wish I could have watched. But instead, I watched this crap. For whatever reason. Well, not whatever reason. I have coverage to do here. I have content to make here. That's why. And it's the fact that it's 3 coaches. 3 coaches in. And not one coach is seeing this. It's an upstairs thing, yeah. It's just, I'm too convinced it is. Like, I don't know. Drury has to go. Chris Drury absolutely has to go. I have a question for the chat right now. And this might be a weird question, but I'm going to ask it anyway. Pittsburgh is looking like they are blowing things up. In the event Mike Sullivan becomes available, would you guys want Peter Laviolette canned to get Mike Sullivan here? No, I'll do a poll on it. I'll do a poll. And I want to make it clear. I want to make it very clear that I'm not saying this is a coaching thing. I want to make it very clear this is more than just a coaching thing. But I do want opinions here. I want to know what the people think here. I think the poll went out. Did it go out? I put the poll out. I thought I did. Is the poll there? There we go. Yeah, it's there. All right. I'm just curious. And again, I'm not going to sit here and say Sullivan is going to be the answer because, again, there has to be changes from the core. But I'm at a point where I don't give a shit if they clean house. As much as I want Laviolette, I don't give a shit if they clean house right now. I really just don't care. If they brought in a GM, brought in Sullivan, let's just say, and then obviously they'd have to tinker the roster because otherwise you're not doing anything effective. But I don't know. I get that's game 14 right now, and this doesn't even matter in the grand scheme of things because none of this will probably happen. But this is just, of course, all hypothetical. I'm just curious, though. We live in a time where the Mets are better than the Rangers, JT. Yeah, at least the next one. Valley and Hank both called out mistakes as what sank them. Lavi won't, though, throw Mika under the bus, but needs to scratch him. Yeah, I mean, and we just know it's not going to happen. That's the problem. And I keep saying it. You know it's bad when Sam and Joe are getting frustrated with the way this team is playing right now. Because they are pleased with the bare minimum at times. I love what Sam does, Joe. I love what Sam Rosen does, but it's the truth that sometimes he could be he's not as critical on the Rangers as I would like him to be at points. But right now he is. That's how dog shit they're playing. By the way, leave a like on the stream if you haven't already. Subscribe if you guys are new. Let's see if we can get to 3,000 subs. We're on pace for that. I also am going to start uploading some member content. I know that I promised that the first time. I promised to actually do it. I will be uploading some member content if anyone wants to sign up to be a member. It's just an additional way to show support. You don't have to because it does cost money. Same thing with super chats. I appreciate any of it, but it is not, of course, a requirement. And I agree. I want Drury fired more, but Laviolette might be in an unfortunate situation where if Drury does go, he's going to go as well because of the fact that, sorry, I lost my train of thought there. He's going to go because of the fact that a GM might want to bring in their own coach. Very mixed feelings right now. Very mixed feelings. I only take solely if we were rebuild and Drury goes. This group doesn't deserve a fourth coach. That I agree with. That's where my stance is. I would only do it if you're cleaning house and tinkering with the roster. Otherwise, there's no point in, like you said, this core doesn't deserve a fourth coach at all. They don't at all. Very split, though. We have... Let me refresh the stream. Maybe that's why the poll is not any different right now. Let me see. Why is it? I don't care about the chat summary. I don't care about the chat summary. Give me the poll. Where is the poll? I don't care about the chat summary. I need the poll. If I can't get the poll, someone might have to tell me in the chat the results of it right now. All right, yeah. Maybe I could... Let me try getting on my phone. This is ridiculous. I'm just as sloppy as the Rangers tonight. Please forgive me. Okay, I don't care about the chat summary right now. I just don't see the poll right now. I just don't see it. Whatever. If somebody could see the poll, let me know the results of it, please, in the chat. But either way, I digress. And it appears in the chat either way, 50-50 type thing here. The problem is they don't deserve another coach. That's the problem. Appears he does. Lines don't really do anything different for me. The lines really don't do anything for me at this point. Because what does it matter when there's clearly just issues with the players themselves? But I agree that, again, that he's not going to fix all the issues. I am not insinuating that. I just want opinions on that. And I do believe that if they were to clean house, though, 31% yes, 40% no. Okay, thank you. Interesting, though. So a lot more no's. And 31% 50-50. I'm pretty much... I would probably say I'm on the 50-50 side of that poll. Because I like Sullivan a lot. And I think he would do a lot right. But, again, it's just not with this core. Because this group has to face the consequences. And I agree, they need better leadership. They need way better leadership. This leadership group is terrible. Did you guys see the clip going around of the way the Winnipeg Jets were practicing this morning? Meanwhile, the Rangers are too busy making content and huddling at the end of their practice. And I hate to sound like the get off my lawn type with that, but like, give me a break. It's just the difference in a team that wants to win a cup versus a team that is collecting their paychecks and is coasting. Thank you for the $5, Dimitri. Speaking of collecting paychecks, thank you. Thank you for doing these post games. Look forward to these regardless of the outcome. So disappointing. MIKA was a 1C not too long ago. What a shame. Thank you. Thank you, Dimitri, for the $5. I really do appreciate that a lot. Really does mean a lot. And yeah, it is very disappointing. It is. Because because of the fact they could have had Jack Eichel, especially. That's really where it hurts. They could have had Jack Eichel. Kyle Connor sees it. I need to find that quote. Kyle Connor and the Jets win against the Rangers. I think they were, for lack of better words, cheating for offense in certain areas. They were going past our defensemen at times, and we were able to keep pucks in and make them pay. How great is it that opposing teams are seeing the issues, but not this leadership group? Not them, though, right? That's great. JT, thank you for the $5. No message, but I appreciate the $5 nonetheless. Really do. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Eichel could have happened, though. Eichel absolutely could have happened. They just didn't want to give up what it took to get him. And I don't care what it would have took to get him. Don't care. You give up whatever it takes to get an elite player, especially at that age that's under contract. Don't care if it would have cost MIKA ZIBANEJAD at the time. Don't care if it would have cost Pavel Buchnevich, who they ended up trading for peanuts. Do not care if it would have cost Niels Lundqvist, who was a highly regarded prospect at the time. Do not care if they would have traded Braden Schneider. Don't care. Not one bit. And as much as Braden Schneider's playing well, wouldn't care. Wouldn't care right now. Wouldn't have cared in the moment. They did not want. Where did you hear that they wanted Lafreniere? Unless you have a definitive report that they demanded Lafreniere, then I'm gonna have to take that with a grain of salt, because there's nothing to. Could they have maybe asked for Lafreniere in a trade? Sure, but unless you have a report that says they only would have took a trade from the Rangers if they were getting the first overall pick, because at the time they didn't even draft Lafreniere. Unless you have a report that specifically says that, I'm going to take that with a grain of salt. Sorry. And even then, no offense to Lafreniere, who I love, you do it. You do it. Although it would have, of course, cost more. But you can't tell me that they got Alex Tuch, Peyton Krebs, and some draft picks, and that's the equivalent to Lafreniere, I don't know, like Braden Schneider, Lafreniere, Niels Lundqvist, or some other defenseman, or maybe even another forward. Like, you can't tell me it's the equivalent to Lafreniere and some other prospect and some draft picks. Alex Tuch and Peyton Krebs. Such a deja vu last year when Hellbuck, after the Jets beat us, MSG said we were way too predictable. Yeah. Pretty much. And it happens after pretty much every opponent we face that they say some shit about that. Most of them. Going to play Black Ops 6 Zombies. I'm not a fan of the zombies on Black Ops 6, but you enjoy your night. If you enjoy it, I'm not going to ruin that for you, but more of a multiplayer guy this year, not gonna lie. But anyway, I'm gonna wrap this up because I honestly have no desire to talk about this for the rest of the night. There's not much to say that's different. It's not much to say. And yeah, Black Ops 3 Zombies is the GOAT. Black Ops 3 Zombies is the GOAT. That's going to be it for me. Thank you guys for watching. Leave a like, subscribe, turn on your notifications. I'll see you guys in the next one.